This week we're going to be talking about your ideal client avatars, pains, their goals and their values. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. So before we go any further, this series of videos is all about completing this. To make sure you get your perfect client avatar, make sure you comment below and we'll get that sent to you. So let's talk about Mike's pains. This goes for you as well in your business. You need to understand, as we need to understand, the pains and challenges that your potential ideal customer is having on a daily basis, weekly basis, within their business and within their role. That's how you're going to appeal to them. That's how you're going to make you and your business relatable to them, by identifying those pains and being able to make sure that the engagement and the content that you put out there is actually singing and dancing right to them specifically. So the first bit for Mike is change management. And that's a challenge that a lot of businesses have, and you may well be having yourself, is getting people to adapt to new ways and new ideals within the business. And because of that, staff retention. These two things can be quite closely linked. And you may be finding that keeping quality staff can be an issue, especially within sales. Also, the rising cost of acquisition. Now, what I mean by that is how much it's actually costing his business to bring in new customers, to get that new business through the door, and the problems that come with the rising costs of that. And to go hand in hand with that, tough competition. Sales has never been easy. And for many of you, you will be in a similar position where generating new business is tough. And if you are in a market that is tough, you know, if you're in a market that is actually got lots of competition out there and you're all driving each other to drive down prices and push quality, then competition is going to be right at the forefront of Mike's problems and challenges that he's going to have. And data. So for us as a business, we know that the people that we speak to and our ideal customers, one of the problems that they have is getting good data. And with the introduction of GDPR last year, it's had a real impact on how businesses are able to speak to their potential customers, and the cost of that data and the amount of it that's out there. So we know that that's going to be something that people are going to find difficult. And very simply, time. For those out there working their backsides off on their businesses, it always seems to be the one commodity that we never have enough of. So they're the challenges he's facing. Let's talk about the real pain points that Mike faces and what your Mike might be facing. So first of all, missing sales targets. This is a core metric that Mike is going to be judged on within his business, that his books are going to be judged on. If you're not bringing in enough business, that's a problem. So missing sales targets and revenue targets for you and for Mike can be a problem. So if you're trying to get out there to your customer, you want to be making sure that the kind of thing that they're going to struggle with, that you're actually talking about. We mentioned before about change management and staff retention. One of the pain points is the staff not wanting to embrace change. This is human nature, and this works for every single business out there. You are always going to have staff who like what they do and have ways and means of doing their particular role who don't want to change. It's absolutely important that the people at the top lead that change, and that's where it becomes quite difficult for a sales director, and that's why it becomes one of his pain points. Social media. Most sales directors of this particular age group that we discussed, 42 to 54, were not born into social media. This is something that's new to them over the last 10, 15 years. And the way that they've run their businesses and worked their way up through businesses has not been through using social media. Now, you may well be sat there having exactly the same thought. Social media is difficult. Social media is new. Social media is something that I don't know how to integrate into the business. And Mike is having exactly that same thing. So social media and not having a knowledgeable strategy to implement. So let's start with Mike's goals and values. What are his goals? So firstly, we mentioned about targets. So one of his goals is always going to be achieving his sales targets, as it's a priority and an absolute must for his role. A goal will be for him to help his department embrace change and to implement a full social media plan. He might not know how to do all these, but these are his goals. That's his end game. Now, let's talk about his values. Let's talk about the kind of person he is and the kind of person that he aspires to be within his business. So, firstly, Mike believes, and he has a belief of a real support culture within his business. That will be something that will be really, really important to Mike. And to go hand in hand with that, customer experience. People like Mike are going to want to have the customer and their employees at the core of everything they do. And to follow from that as well, Mike will believe in leadership over dictatorship. I'm not great with the pencil, but you get the point. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment below and let me know your avatar's biggest challenges. Next week, we're going to be talking about your avatar's objections.